Welcome back, folks, to Two Brits, One Puck. I'm your host, Mr. Intangibles, and a support boy, Dan Masters, with my good friend, a seller of musical equipment, and a man who's living the isolation life. Well, every human. Will, how you doing?
Very well, thank you, Dan. Very well. How are you?
I'm not bad. We will try and keep the coronavirus stroke COVID-19 better than 18 chat down to a minimum. If it does crop up, though, I apologise, but it might do. But we're going to try and stay away from it.
Bit of a big thing at the moment, kind of unavoidable in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's kind of unavoidable, but we'll try our best. That's our promise to you. And we did have a question of the week this week, which came from a fan, which was from John Johnston on Twitter at a T but no E. If you could be stuck with one NHL player, current or retired, who would you pick? There was a lot of choices for this, and I'm going to shout out as well Rob McGregor, who had a good chat with Braden Holtby, which I thought was a good choice. But I'll hand over to you, Will. Who did you think? Who did you go with?
I'd imagine this guy's been picked before, because to me it's a fairly obvious one for my personal sensibilities. I'm going to go with Dougie Hamilton, because...
No way. I said straight away I thought maybe Dougie Hamilton.
Did you really? There you go.
Honest to God. Honestly. And I put it on Twitter as well. It's out there for people to see. I did say Dougie Hamilton.
Two peas in a podcast, mate. My thinking is... He's by all accounts, he's an interesting guy. You know, he's into his museums, he's into his art, etc., etc. All the fucking terrible, terrible reasons why you wouldn't want Dougie Hamilton on your hockey team. So I'm sure he'd be interesting to speak to, or at least, yeah, even if you're not talking about direct interests, he probably knows how to have a conversation. And the second thing is apparently he's a bit of a loner, so he's going to fucking leave you alone for 2 weeks, which is just perfect. Because you don't want to get stuck in an isolation situation. I'd imagine Johnny Gaudreau gets pretty annoying after like 45 minutes. You know what I mean?
How about someone like Marchand, like someone who's always chirping, trying to play jokes and shit.
Oh, mate, yeah.
You know, somebody who just can't shut up. One of you within a couple of weeks, one of you'd be dead because you might try and kill him because he's so annoying.
Because he's done the whole washing up bowl full of water on top of the half open door every single day. It's like, Brad, fucking just leave me alone.
He's constantly trying to stink palm you or something like that.
Whatever he's going to do, it's going to be fucking nasty. If you've got Tom Wilson in there, he's literally going to try and murder you and eat your corpse after a day.
He's just asleep. You just wake up like he just stood over you watching you. All right, Tom, what's going on?
What's
Nothing.
up?
Just enjoying watching you sleep.
Can I help with anything? Just measuring you.
You could say to Dougie, couldn't you? Like, Dougie, there's a library over there. That'll be it. You won't see him for 2 weeks. Done.
I reckon he'd just be off anyway. He'd just go to his side of the room. It's quite. I don't know what the situation is with this lockdown. Whether we're in a 2-bed flat or a studio. But yeah, he'd respect your privacy.
You can just, to me, that might be scarier though. If like those people who can just sit in silence and you just look at Dougie just staring out of a window doing nothing. Like, this dude's a fucking psychopath. He's not even doing anything. He's just sat there looking out a window at a tree. What's happening right now? What's going on in his brain?
You could study him. You could try and work out what he's about.
Dougie Hamilton's like your lab rat. Day 7.
Yeah. You keep a diary on Dougie. Yeah, day 7. Dougie stared at the same leaf for 3 hours, and then just said, "Huh." And put it down. It's great. I reckon it'd be quality.
Dougie started underlining his favourite lines in books. I'm not sure why he's never going to come back to them, so I'm not sure why he's doing that.
He underlined the entire book.
Yeah. I did think of a couple of others. I thought maybe PK might be interesting. I think it'd be cool to kind of...
I reckon he's got that. He's got that he's got that sort of Marchand problem. Not Marchand strictly, but I reckon he'd want to talk to you all the time, wouldn't he?
No, but I thought it'd be interesting to see... Because he always seems to be upbeat, he's positive, he's all about, positive image and mental attitude and all that kind of thing.
So you and I imagine after a depressed PK.
After sort of 10 days, I just want to say to him, PK, can I ask you a question? You do all these things, you give $10 million to a fucking hospital, and people still give you shit. Does that not bother you a little bit? And then just see if I could get him to like unravel a little bit.
Have you ever thought that maybe you're the problem?
Why doesn't anyone like you? What's happening with that?
All that stuff in Montreal, you get traded from Nashville, and now you're stuck in a room with some bloke. Do you ever think you're the problem? Do you ever wonder why?
Think about this, PK. You've gone from Montreal to Nashville to New Jersey. You've downgraded, and now you're sat here with some dumb Englishmen talking about hockey. I mean, you know, clearly you've made some bad choices in life, PK.
We're both handcuffed to a radiator in a bathroom, and there's a dead bloke on the floor.
A dead bloke on the floor. Oh dear. How about, I thought Rocket Richard would be an interesting one, because he always kept, after the riots and everything, he said he always kept the peace, didn't he? And I'd like to just have him go ham on everybody and talk about how he really felt and what he wanted to say, and I thought that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to be locked in a room with a geezer who has multiple episodes of swinging a wooden stick at geezers' heads. Like,
yeah, but again, though, it's better the devil you know than the devil you don't. If you know you're going in there with a crazy person, maybe it's all right. You just sat in there with Dougie the Silent Killer. It's like, that's way worse.
Yeah, at least you can see, like, Maurice Richard throwing a chair at you, but Dougie lacing your dinner with cyanide is something else.
Do you know what my answer would be, though? And I'm kind of, do you know what? I'm so sorry to do this to John, and I hate it when people do this, but I'm just going to kind of cheat the question a little bit. I'd take Eugene. I'd have to sit in with Eugene for 2 weeks.
Nah, talk about geezers who watch you sleep. Bloody hell.
Could you? Wake up, he's got a Sharpie. He's like outlining my kidney.
Eugene's the fucking geezer on the floor who's pretending to be dead.
Eugene's jigsaw.
As soon as you lock that foot off, Eugene's like, fucking another one for the collection, boys. Here we go. Get that bad boy on ice.
I want to play a game.
Maybe that's.
God, can you imagine trying to get into the mind of you? Can you imagine trying to get into the mind of Eugene? Oh, I'd be so. Oh my God.
I'd rather not.
Jesus, all the shit that's happened to this ends. All the things that have gone on. The bloody. I still talk about the bloody lawsuit and everything. Eugene, you're being sued for $1 billion. What the fuck? just everything.
God.
Just everything.
It would be interesting, but then I don't reckon he'd say anything, would he? He'd just tell you to fuck off and try and fight you, and then you'd have to beat up an 85-year-old man. Outwardly,
he's 85, but we know he has the organs of a 23-year-old because he's constantly sort of restocking them, isn't he? Inside, he's like RoboCop.
He's a $6
but
million
outside,
man.
Yeah. It's like when Hannibal Lecter's wearing that geezer's face in Silence of the Lambs. He's wearing an out. He's like the giant bug in Men in Black. He's wearing like an extra skin. That's not him inside. Inside, I think he's hard, like strong enough to kill me because he's totally fresh inside.
If you look him in the eyes, he blinks the wrong way like a lizard.
Yeah, you mean he blinked twice? No, sir, he blinked once with 2 sets of eyelids. Huh? Okay. My answer would be Eugene, though.
That's a good choice.
I think he'd be great. A good start then. So we get on with the rest of the show.
Yeah, I suppose we should.
Hey everybody, it's usually that time of the week, but it's a different time of the week. It's time for the NHL EA game GM Mode Smooth Recap. Shockwaves through the hockey world as 3-time Stanley Cup champion Nathan MacKinnon is traded from the Manchester Bulldogs to the LA Kings for last season Calder-winning starlet Rod O'Connell.
History has been rewritten and the righteous have prevailed as the Dallas Stars are named the 2019 Stanley Cup champions after sweeping the Boston Bruins. Some gaudy goal totals were hit, with the Stars averaging 7 goals per game during the final.
Let's all raise a glass to last season's most notable retiree, as 42-year-old Patrice Bergeron announces he's hanging up the skates. A hell of a career for the 7-time Selke winner.
Our accurately rewritten history is full of surprises, such as a number of offer sheets being bandied about, though only from one team. The eventual cup winners managed to snag Jakub Vrana, Kasperi Kapanen and Malcolm Subban on offer sheet deals from their various clubs. Perhaps the formula will finally catch on after the Texas club produced such a successful season.
They say that age is only a number, And this proves to be the case, as 40-year-old, 4-time Stanley Cup champion Sidney Crosby currently leads the league in points, cementing his place as the 3rd best player ever. Take that, Mario.
Offer sheets, or lack thereof, was a continuing point of discussion during the 2018-19 season, as the young starlets Braden Point and Mitch Marner sat the entire season. Neither Tampa nor Toronto decided to sort their cap situation in order to sign the forwards, and yet nobody had the sense enough to try and snap either player up.
Even in the digital world, success is no guarantee of safety, as Tampa Bay Lightning head coach Craig McSweeney gets the sack, only 18 months removed from winning the Stanley Cup.
The off-season following a cup win is often full of jubilation, alcohol, and impromptu fountain. The off-season following a cup win is often full of jubilation, alcohol, and impromptu fountain frolicking. But the 2019 off-season was not all tickety-boo for some Dallas Stars. Conn Smythe winner Alexander Radulov and starting goaltender Ben Bishop were just 2 of the casualties jettisoned after the Stars' victory. Not due to cap restrictions, but due to a GM in this league finally having some goddamn sense.
Being the son of a legend can be tough. Even tougher when you're the son of the greatest ever. I'm sure though that the most recent first-round pick for the Columbus Blue Jackets, Clive Gretzky, will do his best.
A GM with little to no sense is whoever is running the new Seattle Tigers expansion team, as they traded what became the first overall pick in the 2019 draft for, well, not enough to stop them ending up with the first overall pick. The Vegas Golden Knights are surely delighted with their new franchise-rated centerman, Jeffrey Stepniak.
And that was your smooth recap.
Offer sheets in that game are so fucking easy.
Well, how many times have we spoken about how the game is kind of stupid and ridiculous?
Oh, it's awful. It's so bad.
No, do you know what? I've said this a lot of times. EA games get so much shit, but I've played a lot of them. I've played Madden, played FIFA, all the other sports games. NHL is the best one they do. It really is.
I don't know about that.
It is. There's a lot that they do really well with it. There are little things that they need to change. For example, I traded Nathan McKinnon, who was 32. I think he was like 10.6 for the next 4 years. And I got last season's Calder winning player, as I mentioned, Rod O'Connell, who's got 8 years left at 9.3. Like, you'd never do... And he's like 21, 22. You'd never do that deal in a million years.
You can't go over the cap in the summer and stuff like that, so it makes it harder to make trades and shit like that.
Yeah.
And like I said in mine, like you end up with... I've never had a season where, a big RFA ends up going on... not going unsigned because their team just can't afford him because they fucking signed whoever, Blake Coleman, for $5 million for 5 years. It's like the gameplay is perfectly enjoyable and like it's an impressive feat of achievement having all that simulation, but there's just it's easy to break the game is what it is.
Yes, very true. That's very true.
Yeah, it's a good way to pass a bit of time when there's no real hockey happening.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I'm kind of getting my fix that way. And I just think there are people out there who don't play video games. I just find that insane. Like, why wouldn't you? I think, God, what do you do with your time? Maybe you learn things. That's crazy.
I reckon you just got to be, it's like different hobbies and stuff. Like, obviously I watch telly, but I watch the majority of my television comes with my wife. Sort of thing. If I'm on my own,
true.
I'll sooner play a game than watch a series or a film or whatever it is. But there are people who are complete opposite. They'll happily sit in a row, watch 10 episodes or whatever in a row, watch a film or whatever it might be, or even do slightly more productive things like, I don't know, fucking sewing or whatever.
Sewing. Look out for Will's new displays coming out on Etsy any day now.
My cross stitching's fucking getting there.
You're gonna start cross stitching NHL jerseys,
mate. I want to learn how to sew from like a practical standpoint.
Oh god. Okay, yeah, I can sew. I got taught. My mum taught me how to sew when I was a kid.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, I've got plenty of things that have small enough like splits in the seam that you wouldn't necessarily notice, but they could do with just being sewed up quickly. And I'm sure I could probably
I rescued Sarah's Christmas works night out about 10 years ago because she bought this dress and she was probably 10 minutes from leaving the house. The zip came loose, but came loose at the stitching somehow. She caught it on something, didn't realise and pulled it, and she was absolutely freaking out. So I just said, well, let me sew it for you. And she just looked at me as if to say, fucking whatever, monkey boy. No, I can do it. I can really do it. So yeah, she let me do it and sewed it up and it was fine.
You mean you know how to sew, but your wife doesn't?
There's loads of things I can do house-wise that my wife can't. We have completely flipped.
Millennial
We've totally
men and their safe spaces and their sewing and fucking shit.
It's insane. But we are the polar opposite of she's the one. She makes all the money. She makes all like the tough decisions. Mainly because I don't give a shit. That's why. Nothing to do with me not wanting to do it. I just don't care enough to like
just
about
a fucking
things.
arsehole.
Yeah. I've told you before, where we're going on holiday, I have no idea. I have no idea where we go every year until we get there. Oh my God, this is pretty cool. Good
You've
choice.
got to be loving these travel bans, haven't you?
Do you know what I do? I don't because I don't want to go on holiday, but I know I should go on holiday for my wife's sanity because, like I say, she works her fucking tail off and she deserves holidays and she deserves time away from this country just to kind of recharge her batteries. But so I actually do feel bad for her, which is crazy. If you'd have asked me 3 months ago, I'd have said, "Oh yeah, it's going to be awesome. Can't go anywhere. Great, get to stay in all day." But I feel for her. But yeah, but then I do all the stuff around the house. I do all the cooking, all the cleaning. I'll do all the DIY. I do the decorating. I'll pick out colour schemes for rooms now we're decorating and all that kind of thing. We've totally flipped the script. It's a weird thing, but hey, it works for us. What can you do?
Is it as it should be? Like, I'm sure it goes without saying, but like traditional societal gender roles are nonsense to the nth degree.
I've told people before, it's hilarious how much my wife doesn't need me. It's like really funny how much she could just kick me out and she'd be fine, completely fine.
Well, unless she gets a split in the seam.
Well, let's not talk about that kind of thing, Will, because it is my wife.
That's the only. Your sewing ability is literally the only thing holding the fabric of your marriage together.
So true.
Thank you very much.
Oh, very good. We're not going to have a usual segments, but we'll just chat the breeze a little bit. But hey, Richard Branson's a cunt, isn't he?
Oh my fucking God. If there's ever someone...
8 weeks unpaid leave? Are you fucking kidding me? You absolute colossal grade A prick. 8 weeks unpaid leave? What the fuck?
Not just 8 weeks unpaid leave. Oh, also Boris, old pal. Could you just loan us like a 7.5 bill? Just a cheeky 7.5 bill, please, mate. Don't worry that I've sued the NHS and I've got more fucking money than you can shake 1.5 million sticks at.
Dude, he's worth 4.1 billion quid. 4.1 billion.
If only,
not enough. No,
if only he was worth 11.6 billion, then he'd be all right.
If only he was worth 4.11 billion, then maybe he'd pay the staff who are going to be
well away.
Unreal. And I thought he was kind of okay. With things like that, I thought he'd be all right with things like that. No, turns out he's just a massive twat.
For someone who like frames himself as like a man of the people and like, yeah, the people's billionaire and shit, like he's a fucking snake. It's one thing if you're a fucking arsehole billionaire and like you're a proper supervillain about it. Obviously not fair enough, still death to you. But if you're a snake...
Shout out to Eugene again.
Shout out to Eugene. Fair play, Eugene's doing his thing. He's making no bones about it. But
that's true.
He's... For Branson to be out there pretending to be a man of the people and then just turning around and being like this, he's a fucking bastard. What would we expect from the man who sued the NHS, though?
Yeah, I suppose, but fucking hell.
No, it doesn't make it any better. He's still scum. Absolute scum.
Yeah, shout out to the Bruins ownership as well. Doing their bit for scumbags everywhere.
Speaking of scum.
Fuck me. I tell you, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
And let's not let these other owners off the hook. Anyone who
absolutely
was bullied into paying their staff, that's not a fucking out. Like some
Jets and the Flames spring
Jets
to mind.
And the Flames are exactly, especially who's the guy? Murray Edwards. Murray Edwards. Rotten hell, you piece of fucking shit. Fucking I'm so against taxpayers paying for private sports stadiums as it is. Particularly, Dan, when the person who takes that 250 million handout from the state, who then turns around and says, actually, no, I can't pay any of you fuckers. Sorry.
I know. Fucking shambles. And it's a shame. It's a shame because there's no way you can get them back in any way. You can't get them back in any way. People need jobs. People need employment. Fine, they're going to do it. It's a shame because you would hope somehow afterwards everybody would say, yeah, we're not going to work for you and we hope your empire crumbles around you. It won't, and that sucks because, they deserve to be living under a fucking bridge drinking rainwater off some fucking tramp's toe.
The thing that really saddens me is the sports ownership side of it as well, because like you say, it's not like people can just say, I don't want to work for you, especially where like the teams that they own are, the jobs themselves might not be desirable, but I'd sure as fuck rather be, pulling pints for the Stars than at my local Spoons, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
These criminal billionaire owners take away or drive a stake between the enjoyment of working for your team or for any sports team and being involved in sports, which is a fantastic thing to do no matter what your role is, and the reality that you're further propping up the biggest leeches in this planet.
Somebody put out a tweet yesterday that was absolutely amazing regarding the aviation industry.
Okay.
Which was, I'd like to book a ticket, please. Yeah, sure, that'll be £600. Oh, okay, no problem. Can I sit next to my wife? Yeah, that's an extra £200. Oh, okay. Can I take a suitcase on? Yeah, you can. You got to pay for it though. Oh, okay. It's over a certain weight. Well, you can pay more for it then. Okay, no problem. Can I have something to eat? Well, you're going to have to pay for that. Oh, okay. Can I get a sandwich at the airport? Yeah, but it'll cost you like the cost of a regular meal out somewhere. Right, okay. 2 weeks later, the plane people are like, can we have some money? Where the fuck is all the money I've given you? What have you been doing with all this money?
What do you think they make the food out of?
It's insane.
It's just blended up £10 notes.
You're fucking kidding me, aren't you? You've had so much money off the entire planet. What are you doing with it? And now they're just going, we need some money. Fuck off. How about that?
This is the thing. Like any major corporation that is suddenly struggling to, saying, we won't be able to keep our doors open for 3 months if you don't give us £14 billion. Fucking review how much you're paying to people who do not contribute a single damn thing to the company.
Yeah.
How much of a salary?
Who's this guy? Oh, he's a non-executive director. Really? How about he can fuck off then from now on? How about that?
Well, what's his wage? Oh, he gets $450,000 a year plus bonuses. And what does he do? He's about,
What does he do? He does. That's what he does. Brilliant.
Right.
Okay.
Right, you ask him.
Every single company that's asking for a bailout from the government should be turning over all their financial records. Because if you can't, after all the money that's spent on aviation travel, and I mean, I'm talking major companies, obviously fucking, your man and van things is fucking terrible and that's a dire situation, but...
to be fair though, your fucking Jim's painter and decorator is asking for a £7.5 billion loan just to stay afloat. I'd want to see his fucking expense report as well.
But do you know what though? Yeah, do you know what? If Jim, the fucking man and van painting dude, went to the bank after this and said, I need like 15 grand to keep afloat, they'd be saying, well, I want to see this, I want to see this, I want to see this, I want to see this. I want all of it. But obviously fucking Dickie Branson and Virgin Atlantic... No. Yeah, or it'd just be, well, soz, mate. You ever tried maybe doing something else? Anywhere else hiring at the moment? But Dickie Branson's going to go to the government and say, shit, guys, need about £2 billion. And they're probably going to go, okay then. Let's flip it round. On the plus side, there are some fucking decent people out there. I think we talked about Ronaldo last week, didn't we? That he's turning all his hotels into hospitals and he's just paying for everybody.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, Gary Neville's done the same. He said he's going to pay every hotel he owns is being turned into a hospital type place, and he's going to pay all of his staff, the hospital staff and the hotel staff. No one's going to lose any money. Great stuff. Shout out to the NHL owners. Oh, go on.
I just want to take a minute to say to Gary, because I know you're listening, I still think you're a piece of shit and you're a prick. But fair play to you, lad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sporting rivalry aside, you still have to have the hatred there.
Oh yeah, of course. He's still a wanker, but fair enough. Good-hearted wanker.
And good on the hockey players who all sort of started setting up GoFundMe's and all that kind of thing. Yeah, good for you. Well done. Because you should be. And it's what I don't get. Maybe I said this last week, I can't remember. But if you're some rich dude, wouldn't you do this for purely selfish reasons, for the awesome PR?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Wouldn't I? I'd be like, if I was a billionaire, I would say, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to build a coronavirus wing to this hospital. And when it's all taken care of and we've fixed the problem, we're going to turn it into something else, maybe like a cancer ward or an antenatal ward or something like that. But could you just maybe put my name on it? It's purely selfish, but you're going to be helping so many people, and people are going to be saying, oh, what a lad. What a lad. Look what he's done. What an amazing dude.
What a great guy.
He did it for himself. Yeah.
He donated 1% of his wealth to...
But people wouldn't see that, would they? They'd just be like, oh, look what he built. What an amazing man. Like, they wouldn't give a shit. Speaking
of people worth shouting out, I want to shout out Shea Serrano. Do you know Shea Serrano, Dan?
Yeah, it rings a bell.
He's a writer, author. He's quite big on Twitter, I think. That's where I know him from, at least. He's done a series on, like, he did essays on The Office. He's done author of the book Basketball.
Yeah,
and Other
Things. Yes.
That guy.
I know you mean.
He's been jetting out $200 cash injections to needy people via Cash App and Venmo and stuff like that. So shout out to Shea Serrano and anyone who's out there doing that out of your own personal pocket. Like, obviously Shea's probably got a bit more money in the bank than you or I do, but he's not exactly fucking, I don't know, Richard Branson, shall we say. Anyone supporting people around the place, good on you. We love you.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's people who are sending out even little, like, tiny care packages, aren't there? Like little things of toothpaste and toothbrushes and hand wipes and little bottles of sanitizer and stuff. I mean, everyone's just kind of trying to do their little bit, and it's great. And it's people, again, as usual, it's people on the ground doing those kinds of things where a lot of the upper echelons of society, the people who can help, are just kind of sitting there going, oh no, I've not got as much money. And you just think, oh, fuck off, you twat.
One company who I'm quite proud to patronise is Brewdog. Do you know Brewdog, Dan?
I do.
For any North Americans who aren't familiar with Brewdog, are a craft beer producer based in Scotland. They have dedicated, I'm not sure how much of it is, but how a portion of their brewing facilities to now brewing their own hand sanitizer. And the good thing about it is, Dan, is they're not actually selling any of it. They're explicitly providing it to what they label as needy companies and individuals. I don't know what that looks like, but I'd imagine that's care homes, NHS staff, whatever it might be. The fact that they're not putting this on sale, it's beautiful. No profiteering off it, purely just to help in a way that they are able to, where few others are in the mass production of hand sanitising gel. Good on you, boys.
Great stuff. Did you see that the marble games kind of caught a bit of fire this week? That people were watching marble racing and stuff. I did, but isn't that one that's been, like, Gary Lineker was watching? That's been around for ages, isn't it? That one clip. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, it turns out I'm actually a marble hipster because I've been watching this YouTube channel for about 2.5 years, and I was thinking, haven't people seen this already? It's amazing. They're doing it at the moment. He's doing Marbula 1. So it's marbles with formula. He does qualifying and everything. It's so good. It's so good. Check out it. I think it's pronounced Jella. So it's Jelles. Marble runs. He does Summer Olympics. He does Winter Olympics. There's all kinds of different events that he does. And right now he's doing Marbula 1, and it's about 6 races in. So before the first race, me and my wife and my daughter picked 2 teams each. And they were going to be our teams for the season that we cheer on, kind of thing. And only about the videos in like 10 minutes each, but God, they're so good. They're so well made. We'll have to give it a go. I love on that similar note of finding alternate entertainment. I don't know who put it out, but somebody put out a link to a website called Bet on the Weather. I thought, it's just beautiful, isn't it? I suppose gamblers have got to get their fix somewhere, haven't they? You've got to do what you got to do, Dan, haven't you? You got to do what you got to do. All right. Before we move on, we're on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and soon to be blasted over loudspeakers in quarantine. Don't forget as well to leave a 5-star review, because if you do, you can win a year's supply of toilet roll, which apparently is going to become the new social currency. We are, of course, sponsored by Wave Intel. Jason and his army of workers at Rival Willy Wonka's Oompa Loompas bring you up-to-the-date stats for team comparisons and player comparisons with the patented Versus model. He's also now just busted out a GM model, which I think is something we discussed on the show when we had him on. So maybe we'll try and work a little percentage deal for ourselves there, Will. I'm not sure if that's maybe that was a binding contract when Jason was on the show. I don't know.
We've only got a chance at royalties if it's on, like, height and weight and sexiness and how they look in the suit.
Good point, yeah. But over at Wave Intel, you can now look at your GM's draft choices and draft picks and see how well they've turned out for your team. It's a really cool tool. Wave Intel doing a good ton of stuff out there at the moment. They are online and on Twitter, being smart, so you don't have to be. What did you think about the revised schedule that was proposed? Training camp early July, late July regular season's done, playoffs in August and September, the draft and free agency in October, and then the season starts again in November. What do you think of that?
Mate, I don't know about that. I don't know about any of these, because so many of these end up with, the off-season happens before this season finishes, and I don't quite know how I feel about that. So, you end up with free agents changing teams before finishing 1920, which kind of feels a bit... Obviously, there's going to be an asterisk to any sort of continuation of this season, but that feels like a particularly extreme version of it.
You're right, and I know you mentioned doing something like this last week, but it was then proposed that it came out on Twitter a few days after that. The idea was, we have 24 teams going into the playoffs, the top 2 in each division get a bye, and you end up with 3 rounds and all that kind of thing. I just can't get past the fact, why can't you just say, right, sorry, it stops as it is right now. Forget the other games, the playoffs just start. Why are teams who are 21st in the league being considered for being in the playoffs? No, sorry. You should have been better. Be in the playoffs now.
It's not like we're 12 games into the season.
You had enough time to get into the playoffs. You had enough time to get into that position. And I get it. It happens every year that teams make a bit of a jump at the end, but this is a different thing. Why are we finishing off the season? Just go straight to the playoffs.
I think if we're talking about awarding the cup in September, I'd sooner bin the whole thing off.
I agree.
I mean, we've had cancelled seasons for less legitimate reasons than this before. Why not just say, all right, we got coronaed, unlucky. Let's just go from there.
I'm also happy with the idea that if they can get every player tested and they're fine, and people who work around the team are fine, then just play it behind closed doors. I am fine with that. If that, if it's then a situation of, okay, we can expedite the process, we can get it done, here's how it's going to happen, fine. No, that's okay. And how long's training camp going to be? I mean, shouldn't you be keeping in shape anyway? Or are all the players just going to be sat at home eating fucking cheese toasties for the next 2 months? Do you know what I mean?
The second the season was cancelled, Tyler Sagan just orders a massive, family bucket for one. Straight into it. Starts drinking. Like that, who's that? Is he a senator in America, the geezer who's just got a bottle of chocolate syrup in his desk and he swings from it?
Yeah.
Starts
I know, it's so
on.
true.
Oh, I don't know. Fucking.
I just feel if you're a sports person and you're due to play, if you could finish something, you just get told, look, the season's not finished yet. Stay in shape, look after yourself, exercise, stretch, all that shit. They're talking about having a training camp and a pre-season. No, you should be you're a professional sportsman getting paid £1 billion a year, fucking whatever. You should be ready to go if they ring you tomorrow, kind of thing.
Pre-season exhibition games to resume the season.
Like I said last week, it's one of those things where I have an idea, but I'm not smart enough to know why it doesn't work. But I'm sure it doesn't. But I'm not clever enough to know why it doesn't work.
Mate, I think if you're not awarding the cup by the end of July, see you later.
I know, the ice and everything. We're going to do the playoffs in August. What?
Yes. Right, that I'm for. Turn it into the fucking cup finals or roller hockey game.
They're just playing in a puddle.
Why not water polo? Who cares?
It's the playoffs. Anything can happen, including water.
Including a completely different sport.
Yeah.
Obviously, I want it to come back, and I want to see some more of. Is hockey a beautiful game, or is football a beautiful game? Because I feel like that's a bit of a point of contention. But I want to see more hockey this season, obviously. But if it's going to have a significant impact into next season as well, whatever.
if they're hell bent on having to hand the cup to somebody, like we have to have a cup winner this year, then just don't, and we don't start back up till May or June. Just go straight into the playoffs, or even just say, for example, the league says, right, this is what's happening. Like we've got an 8-team playoff. We're going straight to the second round. I mean, what are teams going to do? Drop out of the league? I mean, I can't believe we weren't allowed to play in the playoffs. That's it. I'll go apply my trade elsewhere then. No, tough. This is what we've got to do this year. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Or just pull a name out the hat, whatever.
And the winner is, well done to Florida. Congrats.
This whole idea of we have to award a Stanley Cup champion. It's the most the most historic trophy in all the sports. Like, fucking get over yourselves. Like, it's still just hockey, and it's still just a fucking metal cup. Like, the world still turns. Who gives a shit?
It is mad, isn't it? The way that it just shows how much sports dominates the social conversation. That there's all these plans in place. There's all these contingencies. Like, when are we going to do this tournament? When can this finish? How is this going to finish? Instead of just saying, fuck it, it's finished now. This team can have it. Who gives a shit? No, there has to be there has to be checks and balances and all kinds of things to get the seasons finished.
You know why the conversation is perpetuated though?
Go on.
It's green, it's rectangular. I'd imagine it's the same sort of size as a £10 note. It's called the dollar bill, Danny boy.
Oh, of course, dollar bills, y'all. And I always forget about dollar bills, y'all.
Greedy fucking vampires needing their playoff revenue.
To be fair, though, hang on. Because you've got to be fair here. The Winnipeg Jets owner is only worth $38 billion. He needs that playoff. Shit. He needs that playoff revenue, Will. So, fair's fair.
We don't want him asking Dickie Branson for the money, do we?
Exactly. Because he can't be going to the Canadian. He can't be going to our favourite blackface fan, Mr. Trudeau, asking for a handout, can he? That's not fair. He's only worth $38 billion. So,
Oh, I saw something that was like, because Idris Elba was tested because he was in contact with whoever Justin Trudeau's wife was or whatever is. Sorry.
Yeah.
And someone said, like, oh, what's Idris Elba doing with the Canadian PM's wife anyway? And someone else put, like, to be fair, she probably mistook him for her husband. Oh, mate.
Do you know what, as well? I'm sorry. Shit, here's a bit more corrupt, but whatever. It's something that's annoying me. Can we stop with the fucking ticker tape on Sky News? I can't believe this person's tested positive for it. Fucking everyone's gonna get it. I can't, alright, I get it. Someone else has got it. Fucking hell. Can we stop with that, please?
Thankfully, Khloe Kardashian's tested negative for it, though. I was really worried for a second.
Oh, great news. Great news.
Fucking quality.
It is, and of course, though, a Sens player is the first in the NHL to test positive. Because, of course, because the Sens are on a roll again now.
Who do you reckon it is?
Oh, that's a good question.
It's got to be like a holdover.
Who'd be the funniest? Who'd be the funniest?
I was going to say JG Pajot, but he's not a Sens player anymore. Chris Tierney.
Yeah, Chris Tierney's not a bad shout.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's nobody left.
I'm going to get you the good one. I've got a good one.
How about Boriecki?
No, not Precious Borrow.
Not Borrow Cop. Can't have that.
Oh my god. Nah, there's nobody funny on there anymore.
Crushed. I'm crushed.
Absolutely livid. Ron Hainsey. Ron Hainsey's not even that funny. He's too fucking boring. Yeah, I think Chris Tierney's the best choice personally.
Okay. Either way though, of course the Sens player was the first to get it. Just because of course.
Absolutely. Because Eugene needs to find a cure, so he had to test it on somebody.
Eugene's given it to somebody on purpose to find a cure.
His little lab rat.
He needs to find a cure so he can sell it to get some money back.
In that case, I'm certain it was Borowiecki.
Yeah.
This is that Mark. Mate.
You've got to take another one for the team.
You got to help me.
Yeah. And Borowiecki's like, not another interview kind of thing, is it?
No, it's
fine. No.
No, not as bad as that, mate. Don't worry.
It's less painful than an interview.
Just a bit of COVID, less life-threatening.
Oh, Fucking hell. Mark Boriek and Eugene Melnick between two COVID patients.
You're not gonna take anything again, are you, Eugene? No. This time I'm gonna give you something. No. I'm gonna give back.
I did say we'd be spending to the cap, and we're going to start giving back to this city. So I'm going to give something back now. This is my gift to you.
Oh my god!
See, do you know what? We were struggling, and in the end, we found the comedy. Well done, us.
Can we get to the main event? Because I'm absolutely fucking buzzing for this.
Let's get to our main event. We had an idea. I can't remember how the conversation started, but I said we should have something silly on the show that other people could maybe kind of join in with. And I think you said we should pick a draft and then pick the best team from that draft. Is that right? That was your idea, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was my idea. Of course it was.
And okay, yeah. And then we said, well, which draft? And I said, obviously, the Yakupov draft, 2012, because it's the most maligned draft of the past sort of 10, 15 years. And then we had a few more ideas, which is, okay, you can pick the best team, but you've got to pick your own team. It's draft rules. Once you've picked a guy, he's off the board. And then we'll see what people think is the best team that you can get out of it. Seeing as I won the playoff competition last year, points-wise, to predict the outcome of the playoffs, I got to pick first. Have you got a strategy down, by the way? Or are you just picking... Actually, yeah, no, never mind, whatever. I shouldn't have even asked that, should I?
I'm drafting for need. Size and need. I've gone onto the draft page and just sorted by size.
I sorted by intangibles, so I'm doing it. Anyway.
Sorted by penalty minutes in junior.
How many points did he score when he was 12? That means he must be good now. I will say quickly. Obviously, you go through drafts and there's players that, it was 8 years ago, so there's going to be players you forget. Mate, some of these players I looked at, I was just, who is this? I've never even heard these players named in kind of jokes or anything. Like players who were taken at sort of 23, 24. There was a guy the Canadians took at 32 or 33. I was like, who is that? I've never heard of this guy.
It's beautiful. There's some really, really bad picks in.
Dude, there's some terrible picks. And this was such a bad draft. We can just about make, doing this, we can just about make two teams. That's how bad this draft was.
Mate, it's
just about, and we're going. 12 forwards, 6 D-men, 2 goalies. We're going to go with that.
Mate, forwards is going to be the problem. There are some fucking
no shit. It's so bad. There were some real late gems, weren't there?
Definitely. It's interesting looking at a thing and you realise just how skewed your perception of people's ages are. It's like this was an 8-year-old draft. 8 years ago, this draft was. Say Jimmy Vesey was drafted technically in the same year that I can't even be bothered to think. But 2012 was equally not that long ago and very long ago. Tom Wilson and Teuvo Teravainen are the same age. That's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. Jimmy Vesey was a good person for you to pick. I was looking at it thinking, Jesus Christ, he was taken in 2012.
Yeah.
For some reason, I had him down as 16 or 17.
Well, it's because of the whole college free agency thing. He'd have had to do 4 years of college to then become a free agent in, I assume it was 2016. So it's just not in your thoughts.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But I won't mention any other players just in case you've forgotten them.
All right. First pick.
You go first. Who you taking?
I'm taking Philip Forsberg.
Okay, yeah, I saw that coming.
Yeah, I got to take Philip Forsberg. In my opinion, the easy standout offensively in this draft. Looking back on it now.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. With the second overall pick, I already can't decide.
Oh God, you're kidding!
I'm gonna take Morgan Riley with second overall.
Yeah, good choice.
Thank you.
I like how the consensus first overall pick went, and then you went, oh fuck, what do I do now?
I don't even know.
What's my backup plan? Shit.
I don't know if I'd have even picked Forsberg first, so it's not like I was.
Wouldn't you? Would you make me taking Riley first anyway?
I think I would have taken Riley first.
It's not a bad shout.
We can discuss strategy and stuff more after we've taken. Who are you going to take number 3?
You're going to love this.
Please pick who I think you're going to pick.
You know I'm picking, don't you?
Please, God.
I'm picking Mr. Thomas Wilson.
You're a fucking nutter. Oh, you're the fucking biggest idiot I know, and I love it. Oh,
Absolutely, mate. I'm taking Tom Wilson. Stanley Cup champion? Come on, mate. Who doesn't want a ring in the room? I do. Me. I'm taking Tom Wilson.
Stanley Cup champion. Right, I want to try and find the worst Stanley Cup champion I can in the draft. Jesus Christ. Okay, 4th overall, I'm going to take Teuvo Teravainen.
Oh, nice choice. Nice choice.
Thank
I
you
thought
very
you
much.
might go a bit later.
Yeah, it's hard with forwards, isn't it? Because I think there's only 3 good forwards in this draft. I thought I better get one of them. Can't get one of them.
And it's really tough in hindsight as well, looking back, because you're just like, well, like looking back on it now, why would I take that guy? He's kind of not very good. But okay,
we had that whole conversation about Galchenyuk having only played like 2 games this season before he got drafted. Yeah. Such a weird draft.
And again, it's not actually a stat that matters ever. But to say that Alex Galchenyuk in his career is minus 58 is hilarious.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And he went, what, 3rd overall?
Yeah, 3rd overall. I'm going to take another forward.
All right. I know who it is.
I'm taking Tomas Hertl.
Yep, good choice. Those are the 3 forwards gone.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Hampus Lindholm with number 6.
Yeah, that's nice.
Thank you very much.
I'm taking Matt Dumba next.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good choice. I like it. I'm really liking how this is going so far.
I got to pick a D-man at some point.
I mean, you're surprising me already with your choices. I like it. I'm gonna go for Alex Galchenyuk with pick number 8.
Career minus 58, but that's fine.
Don't worry, I'm gonna make up for it. Riley and Lindholm are gonna bail him out.
Yeah. Oh god, it's getting tricky already. It's one of 2.
Okay, yeah, all right. Who are you going to pick?
Do you know what? I think if he was on a better team, he'd actually produce.
Oh.
I'm taking Andreas Athanasiou next.
Okay, yeah, interesting.
I think with good players around him, I think he'll produce. He started decent in Edmonton, and I think
top 5 forwards on my list have gone now. That's interesting.
Bearing in mind as well, Andreas Athanasiou on a fucking horrendous Detroit team is better than half a point a game. So I can't really, he has got production. So
he's a good player. I'm going to take Jacob Slavin for my next pick. I'm so into now, not to bury the lead or anything. The forward situation, I'm so interested.
Oh, me too.
To see what's going to happen.
Me too. It's to see who we pick and where.
I think this is going to be some wildly different ideas.
Yeah, completely. I will take with my next pick. I will take Colton Parayko.
Oh, you bastard! You bastard! I thought that was going to be it. I thought I was going to snag him. You nasty little fucker. In that case, I'm going to have to take Shane Gostisbehere with my next pick.
I'm surprised. I thought he'd go later. He's struggled a bit recently, hasn't he? So
I know. I'm trying not to think that, but he's.
To be fair, if he played for me, he'd be fine. So
yeah, exactly. It's like for the D-men, I think we're hitting the muddy middle of like all perfectly good players, but there's no one that's standing out higher than the others.
Do you know what? Genuinely, you could just assign numbers 1 and 2 to every first and second player on this list, and that's it. That's just the team. It's fine. There's just no star power left. Yeah.
Why would I beg to disagree that there's no star power left?
Okay. There's a little bit of star power. I will say. I'll give you that.
I'm very interested to see what's going to happen. Who are you going to take next? Where are you going?
I'm going to take Tanner Pearson next.
Oh, nice. Good choice. I like that.
You know what else he's got, don't you, Will? He's got a ring.
He's got a ring.
I got 2 guys now with I've got 3 guys in my team who've got experience of winning a cup. They know what it takes to get over the line, Will. I've got 3 of them.
I've got a single... Oh, does Terrifying have a ring?
Oh, he might do.
He played 34 games for the Hawks in 14-15. I think he must do.
Yes, he played in game 1, so that would be enough, wouldn't it, to get a ring?
Stanley Cup champion.
There you go.
Teuvo Teravainen. There you go. It's fine.
I mean, still, though, I've got 3, you got 1, so clearly your team ain't shit.
That's very true. My team's going to continue
next.
not being shit. I'm going to take Nikita Gusev.
Oh, I thought he'd drop a bit.
There you go.
I was hoping you would have missed him. I was
getting a bit worried. I've got my first line now. Teravainen, Galchenyuk and Gusev. That'll do me.
The legitimate latest pick taken out of all possible players we could have taken. He was taken 202nd, I think it was.
And you're telling me nobody after that was any good?
Surprisingly not. With the 9 picks that were left or whatever it was.
Hey, you respect Jacob Megner, who's only played 23 less games than Gusev has.
Fuck! I really want to pick somebody now for a completely stupid reason that I didn't even think of before. But now I want to do it. I'm not going to though.
But you've already picked Tom Wilson. How much more stupid can it get?
Do you know here's the thing about Wilson? When he was playing with Ovi and Kuzi on that line, he was fucking amazing. Get him a bit of chemistry going, he'll be fine. That's all he needs. Plus, and again, he'll kill people in the playoffs, which is allowed, isn't it? I'm thinking about playoffs as well.
Legal. I'll give you that. That legal murder.
Yeah, I'm planning for the future, mate. Planning for the future.
It's a useful tool, string to have on your bow. Who are you going to get? I really want to know who you want to take for stupid reasons.
I'll tell you in a minute. I'll tell you when I pick them. I'm going to take Jacob Trouba.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Good choice. That's now the top 5 on both my forwards and my D list. Gone. Interesting.
Fantastic.
But I've chopped and changed a bit. Like I had Gusev at 10 and Gostisbehere at 6 on my respective lists. So
God, you got to spare that high. Wow, I'm surprised at that.
Yeah, I had him higher than Dumba. I had Dumba 7.
Interesting.
But this is what I'm talking about. Like, I think to an extent, my top 4 was Riley, Lindholm, Slavin, and Parayko.
Yeah.
And then I had Trubo, Gostisbehere, Dumba, and then onwards to a point.
Yeah.
It's like a bit of a whatever, much of a muchness. I can't believe. I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to take Radek Faxa next.
I knew you'd take him.
Because he's so good. And nobody cares because he's Czech.
Yeah, no, it's a good
racist.
I like that pick.
It was either going to be him or Morgan Riley for my first overall pick.
I'm going to take Vinny Hina-Stroza next.
Oh, nice. That's reaching, but I like it.
It's a bit of a reach, but I just think out of what's left,
I don't know. Liked a bit of Vinny.
There was just a couple, and I don't know why. That was my last kind of. I kind of went gut instinct. I'll just take him there. But
he's doing well. I'm going to take Josh Anderson next.
Yeah, good choice.
Fill out my forward lineup a little bit. Joshy Anderson been a bit plagued, a bit hampered by the old injuries, but I think there's a player there. I really do.
But again, in this market, we're not looking at that kind of thing, are we? We're trying to think like, how could they actually do if they're kind of half
if they existed? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to take Oli Mata next.
Oh my god! Really?
Yeah, I am.
Oh my god!
Listen. In the right system,
right fucking system,
he's perfectly fine.
So I've got a list of 16 D-men. Do you want to know what number he is on that list?
15?
16. That was going to be like a fucking last resort. You've taken it. Fair play to you. I like it. I'm going to take Alex Kafut for my next.
That was going to be my next pick.
Oh,
bastard!
You don't like that, do you? He doesn't like it.
Don't like that. Do not like that at
That's
all.
what
That was going to be my
I was
next
going to pick
pick.
Ollie Matter for you to. Fucking Ollie Matter.
I think you're fine, Will.
I like this. This is where we get really interesting. Stop messing around and just pick Jimmy VC.
I mean, again, Ollie Matter, just got a ring, Will. He's good in the room, isn't he?
Nothing but cup winners.
Cup winners.
There are 2 players still on the board that I just cannot believe you haven't touched yet. I'm kind of like waiting for you to take one of them, so I'll just take the other one. And I cannot believe it. I'm almost tempted. I don't want to jump too early and miss out on some wonderful forward talent.
It's terrifying because I don't know who you think I'm going to pick.
Oh my God.
I'm terrified.
That's terrifying me, the fact that... Oh my God, this is excellent. I can't wait till it happens.
Do you know what? Planning for the future a little bit.
Go on. Oh my God.
Just kidding.
By taking a 26-year-old player.
Yeah. Well, I'm planning for the future in NHL terms. Oh God, who do I take next? Fucking hell. This is so hard now. It's so hard now. This fucking draft is so bad. It's so bad.
It's fucking diabolical. I'm trying to think. Yeah, there's some fucking bad players. Like my second line is Radek Faxer, Alex Kerfoot, and Josh Anderson. Not terrible players by any stretch of the imagination.
I know, but that's a second line. God,
that's rough, isn't it?
All right, I'm taking Brady Shea.
See, why didn't you take him instead of Ollie Matter?
I knew you were taking a forward next. So I was like, fuck it.
Excuse me, he's got me. All right,
go on.
Fuck it, I don't care. I've got to break the dam. I've taken Andrei Vasilevsky.
You're kidding already?
What do you mean I'm kidding? He's a Vezina caliber goalie, mate. What are you talking about?
Right, shut up. We're saving. Don't worry. We're saving this till the end. We're saving this till the end.
You telling me Andrei Vasilevsky's a worse player than Ollie Matter?
No, but in this game, that's a bad pick. I'll tell you why at the end. Remind me at the end. I've got to make a note of this.
I think that's a fucking shit hot pick. That's the fucking best pick anyone's ever taken. Let me do the fucking maths on this. The 22nd pick, and I've got Andrei Vasilevsky. Don't even worry about it, mate.
Okay, you're thinking about this wrong. Your youth again has blinded you, William. That's what's happened. It's blinded you to what you're not seeing what's in front of you, mate. That's what's happening. You're looking at it, but you're not seeing it.
Nah, fuck it. I'm about to fucking end your shit with this. Don't even worry. It's gonna be fucking over for you now. It's going to be fucking over for you.
I know what you're doing next. That's why I'm taking...
The thing is, you know what I'm going to do next, and unless you take that player, what are you going to fucking do? What are you going to do, Dan? Who are you going to fucking pick?
You know what I'm picking next.
Go on.
Be all right.
2VC.
No. You've got to tell me if this is who you thought I was going to take, okay?
Go on.
I'm taking Matt Murray.
Oh my fucking God, he wasn't even on my list. Oh, mate.
You're kidding!
Matt fucking Murray. Matt Murray is fucking Jordan Binnington, mate. Matt Murray is cooked.
You're not telling me that Matt Murray is a really good goalie?
No, you know how a couple of years ago I said Jordan Marchessault is going to be playing in the KHL?
Yeah.
What I meant was Matt Murray is going to be playing in the KHL.
Yeah.
Matt fucking Murray, get the fuck out of here, mate.
If you're trying to tell me legitimately that Matt Murray is not a fucking good goalie, and there's 4 goalies in this draft. Fuck it, I'll make my point now. There's 4 goalies in this draft who were all really, really good. Matt Murray's one of them.
Nah, ain't. I've had to add a fucking row because you've picked Matt Murray, you absolute crackhead. I'm taking Connor Hellebuck, and it's fucking over.
Fine, that's fine.
Why would you take Matt Murray over Connor Hellebuck? Like, the geezer's dragging the withered corpse of the Winnipeg Jets to the playoffs, or would have, and you're going for fucking Scott Darling.
I can't believe I have to say this, right? I can't believe I have to say this.
It's fucking ridiculous. You took Tom Wilson first overall, and now you're taking Matt Murray.
I didn't take Don Wilson first overall. I took Forsberg first overall. If you think right that Matt Murray is like legitimately bad, because that's what you're making out, that he's legitimately bad. He is so much worse than Andrei Vasilevsky. Like, you're insane. You're insane.
He is.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He's fucking bad. He's dog.
He is not dog. You're a dog.
Well, I am a dog, but he's at least not Matt Murray. I'd rather be a dog than Matt Murray.
You're fucking mental if you think Matt Murray's like actually bad.
He's not. He's a fucking mirage, Dan.
Fucking hang on, wait there.
Oh God, I want to find someone funny to say that you're going to take next. Who's taking next? James Mellandy. Taken 88th overall by the... Yeah, I fucking am.
Yeah, I am. Why not? The fucking... I call him Water, because he's Water Melody, and he's smooth like that, and, you know, he can fill any object. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Fucking hell.
Is there some...
I will take next... Oh, Christ almighty, this forward group's fucking... Jesus. I'll take Connor Brown.
Connor Brown, not Jimmy Vesey.
No, not Jimmy Vesey.
Come on, give the crowd what they want. I'm going to take the superior Murray. I'm going to take Ryan Murray.
Yeah.
What do you mean,
Well, like I just said.
Fair enough.
Right, that means I can save that because you've got your 6 D-men now, so that's fine.
No,
you got 5.
I've only got 5 D-men. And
see what?
And they're all lefties. Just as
I didn't even look at that.
Just as God intended.
I'm going to take him then. He's a super underrated boy, and I think he could be a star. I'll take him, Matt Grzelcyk.
But see, this is what I'm talking about. Why didn't you take Matt Grzelcyk? Is basically infinitely better than Ollie Matter.
What does it matter, Will? I've got the players I wanted anyway. So there we go,
mate. That Ollie Matter pick is never gonna not fucking blow my mind.
Blow your mind so much that this is such a good choice. You didn't even have Matt Murray on your list. A guy who's won 2 Stanley fucking Cups.
Oh, mate, 2 fucking Stanley Cups. I give a fucking shit about the stuff. We've already covered, Dan. Fuck the fucking Stanley Cup.
The only thing that matters in the league, like the only thing that they play for is like, yeah, whatever. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, fucking Jim the Kitman's won 2 Stanley Cups, but you ain't having him as your starting goalie, are you? Scott Darling's won a fucking Stanley Cup, mate. There are plenty of fucking wankers who are playing check-in roles in the SHL that have won Stanley Cups.
Yeah, but Matt Murray won it. When you're like the starting goalie, you win it.
Nah,
you don't just like
not when you play on
fluke it.
Not when you play on Sid's team. Sid fucking gives you the Stanley Cup, mate. That's what happens.
Did you fucking see that defense that was in front of Matt Murray when they won the cup?
Fuck me. That was a million years ago, though.
A million.
That was pre-COVID, mate.
That was PC.
We're living in a different timeline now, mate. It's over.
Is that BC, AD, or PC?
PC or AC.
PC or AC,
in this wonderful AC. Well, do you want to know who I'm going to take next?
I'm going to guess you're taking a D-man.
No.
Oh. So I want to... okay. In that case, I've got no idea.
Oh, you know who I'm taking.
Are you taking Jimmy Vesey?
Oh, no, I'm not taking. I'm leaving that for you. I wouldn't want to step on your toes.
Okay.
I'm like, you know.
Okay.
I'm like.
No, I've got no idea then.
There's 2 packs of toilet roll left, and I'm only taking one of them. I'm not taking Jimmy Vesey. He's
Go on.
He's number 1 on the board, and he's number 1 in our hearts. It's now Yakupov, boys. He's fucking in there, mate. He's in there.
You fucking twat. You're fucking criticising me for taking Matt Murray and you're taking Yakupov.
Mate,
fucking hell.
If now Yakupov's name is Jim Toronto, he's still in the league right now. Now Yakupov's a better hockey player than Jimmy Vesey. Definitely. Definitely.
Jimmy Vesey is the new Ross Johnston.
Fuck Jimmy Vesey. I hate Jimmy Vesey because there was so much hype around this kid and he's just been so decidedly average. So decidedly, like, inconsequential.
Do you remember Do you remember the hype when it was like, who's he going to play for? He's going to go to Buffalo. He might go to the Bruins. Is he going to the Rangers? And it was like,
I was looking. He's going to walk into the Nationals top 6 if he signs.
I was looking at all this speculation and going, who the fuck is Jimmy? Like, have I missed something? Like, who is this guy? Like, I must have missed a meeting or something, because what's happened? Who's Jimmy Vesey? Completely forgetting what had happened, like, in his career. And then it came back, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe he's amazing, and I've missed something. And nope, just as we said, decidedly average.
And he's a real indictment of the whole college free agent thing, because like Jimmy Vesey is decidedly average and completely forgettable as a hockey player. Yet he's also the best college free agent signing of the last 5-10 years or whatever. Fucking Jimmy Vesey, you bastard. But yeah, now Yakupov, what are you gonna do?
Fucking hell, what are you going to do? Christ.
What can you do, mate?
Whatever I pick now is just a much of a muchness in it. So
this is it. Why not swing for the fences?
Yeah, maybe in the alternate universe he works out okay.
This is what I'm saying. Like, what you telling me now? Yakupov is going to be particularly a worse player than like Colton Sissons. Like,
yeah, but what if this time he's even worse?
I'll just bury him in the minors. So I'll sign.
Instead, is the new narrative in this timeline isn't, I can't believe he went first. I can't believe he went 26th. Fucking hell.
It's fine. I'm just going to get Conor McDavid in free agency anyway.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
I don't know why we're sweating the lack of forwards in this draft, because we'll just go to free agency after this and get whoever you want.
Yeah, you're right. I will take next. Do you know what? I looked at his point production, and he's been on you know what? We talked about him before, but I'm taking Chris Tierney.
Yeah.
On a team that bad, his point production isn't, looking at it now, compared to what else is out there, it isn't terrible, to be honest.
Yeah, but he's got coronavirus, Dan. Like, what are you doing?
He'll be dead in a week.
It's fucking over. Waste of a pick, mate.
Go on, who's next?
I'm gonna continue this theme, and I'm gonna take Mikhail Grigorenko.
Do you know what? I was very tempted. I think
he's doing well in. Isn't he like a point per game player in the KHL?
He's doing on the KHL. Yeah, he's doing okay.
He's doing. Yeah, why not?
We're filling out bottom parts here. Next, I will take.
Excuse me.
That sounded terrible. I will take next. Do you know what? Since he's been traded, he's actually stepped up and he's kind of racking up some points. I'll take Chandler Stevenson. He's playing well in Vegas, so yeah, why not?
Fair again. Allow me to input him on the list. Fair play to you.
I will say again, we're looking at like what we're looking at now, like third line, fourth line guys at this point.
Yeah,
so.
I'm less incensed by that pick than Matt Murray. Go on, I'll take him now. I'm going to take Eric Gustafsson. Round out my decor nicely.
Are you all right?
No, I don't know why you hate him so much.
We had a chat the other week about how abjectly terrible he is. You're giving me grief
He's really
for
good.
some of my picks, and you're taking Eric Gustafsson, who Micah said was on his list of no's for the year.
Yeah, Micah knows a lot of stuff, but he don't know Eric Gustafsson.
He doesn't know He doesn't know what he does in the room.
He doesn't know
measure that
the
well.
Gust dog. He just chuck him on a power play, whatever.
Fine, all right, whatever.
I've got 5 other D-men that are top 4 quality.
Yeah, you have a Patrick Kane type on your team who can. Oh, never mind. No, okay, never
Yeah,
mind.
that's a problem. Like, got nobody to finish those passes.
Yeah.
You're right. I should have taken fucking Ollie Matter.
Just taking Jimmy Beast. No. Let's go with. Who wouldn't want the hardest shot ever recorded by a phony gun? I'm taking Martin Firk.
Yes, this is what we're here for. This is what I'm living for.
Fuck it, why not?
Fucking Martin
why
Firk,
not?
chuck him in there. Why not? Who?
Yeah, fucking why not?
What's the worst that could happen?
Exactly. Get him on the power play, smacking in some fucking slappers from the point. Why not? 109 mile an hour. Can't complain.
Who cares, mate? You should have taken Teddy Bluegers. Isn't you should have taken Selkie candidate this year? Teddy Bluegers.
Okay.
Or Bulgers. What is his name? Because he's got like 2 names, hasn't he? He's got his name, and then he's changed his name like a westernized version of his name.
Yeah.
It's like Ted
Whatever. You know what he
Orr's
means.
Belugas. Yeah, I'm taking your boy Ted Orr's.
I will take next.
We've got to be nearly there, haven't we?
Yeah, what have we got
we
left?
both got 60.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 2 more picks each. Oh, no, sorry. 3 more picks each.
So I was going to say, because I need 3 forwards, and you need a backup goalie and 2 forwards,
2 forwards
I
and
assume?
a goalie. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
I am strictly now just looking at points. I will take Devon Shaw.
Good choice. I like Devon Shaw. He's a really nice boy. Another former Dallas Star. What more could you ask for? I'm going to take Mark Jankowski.
Ah, it's a good pick. I like that.
Thank you very
That's
much.
a good pick.
Thank you.
Second to last pick, I'll take Cedric Paquette.
Oh, nice. Narrowly missed out on my list. God, I'm like an absolute kid in a candy store now. I'll tell you how many I've got. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 forwards to choose from.
Blimey.
To take 2. I'm going to take a Brendan Leipzig.
If we'd have done extra forwards, he would have been my next pick.
Yeah, he's a good player. Just one of these players that he's not quite Brandon Peary level, but the same sort of flavour of player as Brandon Peary.
And then my other goalie, I'll take Freddie Anderson.
Yep, makes sense to me. Would have been my starter, but fair enough. I've not been smoking the crack. Last pick in the draft, am I going to take Jimmy VC? No, I'm fucking not. I'm going to take... I can't resist this boy because he's too pure for this world. I'm going to take Jamel Smith.
Yay! There we go. That was a good, yeah.
What a beautiful boy.
That was who I said. I think he always gets a raw deal. I think whenever I watched him play, he seems perfectly adequate to me and fine. But I don't know. There's just...
Absolutely. Yeah. He's always been one of these players that just plays well, has a good shot share, and then just gets scratched. Like he's never broken into the NHL properly for basically no reason. Oh my God, no reason.
Oh. All right, so a couple of things I'm going to mention.
Go on.
I'll say, all right, three things, just 3 quick things I'll mention. 1, clearly my team's better. Whatever, no big deal. 2, 2, I really thought you were going to take Kessel Lindell.
It was probably down to...
I know you're a big fan of Lindell, aren't you? You think he's like, he's a boy.
He's a good player. He's a really good player. He was 9 on my D-man list, but I just wanted Gustafsson. Because, I mean...
I'm still stunned. Like, you chose Gustafsson and Gustafsson over Esa Lindell. That is stunning to me.
Yeah, but then I've got Morgan Riley, Hampson Home, and Jacob Slavin, and Ryan Murray.
I guess.
So, like, you can take a risk on 2 offensively minded players. I cannot believe you didn't take Andrei Vasilevsky. I really can't.
All right, you know what I'm gonna say, don't you?
Go on.
When he does something worthy of me taking him, I'll take him.
Ooh.
When he can actually make a save when it matters, not playing behind an unbelievable decor, I would have considered him. Listen, right? I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
His stats are ridiculous, all right?
He's a very good goalie.
It's the classic thing, though, is that he's a very good goalie. And, yeah, there were 4... Luckily, there were 4 goalies who will all have been very good or are currently very good. Luckily, there were 4, because if there'd have been 3 goalies, we would have just taken 2 goalies like first, and like that's it. I've got my goalies, you're fucked, because your backup would have been whoever.
I had Vasilevsky and Hellebuck 1 and 2 on my like overall board of players to aim for.
Did you really?
Yeah,
no way.
Genuinely. I got the top 5 players on my board. I'm very happy with that.
And here's the thing: I'm looking at players as well, and I genuinely was like, I know Matt Murray can handle the pressure. I know when it comes down to it, he can handle the pressure. We get to the playoffs. I know I can trust him. He's done it before. For a goalie, it's different. I really don't think. I mean, joking about Tom Wilson and all that shit. I'm kind of joking around, but you do need those players in your team because it showed last year. All jokes aside, the Bruins and the Blues were 2 strong big teams, and I think when everyone's playing with speed, a strong big team can then sometimes flip things over a bit, and maybe that's what happened last year. So the Tom Wilson thing was kind of a pick in that sense. But goalies, it's not. It's different. Goalies is purely it's so mental.
Yeah,
it's such a mental position that you have to know that you can do it. And that was the thing we talked about the Lightning this year. Okay, yeah, they seem to have changed their mindset a little bit. But if they lose the first 2 games, if whoever they're playing in the playoffs, are they just suddenly going to capitulate again? Look what happened last year after that. Was it after the first game that Kucherov fucking drilled whoever it was into the boards when they were kneeling down?
Yeah.
And you're just like, these have already lost their heads completely. They've already lost this series. They're done.
They're cooked.
And that was kind of my thing, like, that was like my thing with Vasilevsky. I couldn't get it out of my mind. Is he going to concede a couple of goals early on in the first game and just lose his shit again? And I couldn't get past that.
But you've still got to get to the cup, haven't you?
Oh, and they will. And look, as long as Crosby and Gino are on the Penguins, they'll always have a shot. And if you always get to the dance, I know I can think, you know what, Matt Murray, he might be okay. And the same, and then it was kind of, well, if I don't get Matt Murray, it's Vasilevsky, and then it's either Anderson or Hellebuck, because I think then if you give Anderson a team who can actually back him up properly, so then you're thinking that, well, both these goals will just share the load, won't they? And all the stats show, like, once Anderson can actually rest and recover properly, he's really good, really good.
Yeah, Anderson's really. It would have been hard. Like if Hellebuck wasn't having the season he is having, it would have been hard between the two for me.
Yeah, that's fine. And again, that's fine. But that was kind of my thinking with goalies.
Goalies are voodoo anyway, so it's all sort of personal preference and whatever.
There's also that as well. You could have taken Malcolm Subban and he probably wins you the cup for some reason because hockey, doesn't he?
Why not?
Fuck it. Yeah, why not?
Carl, mate. I think it's such a weird draft, isn't it? Very D heavy.
It's insane. It was so D heavy. Mike Matheson at 23 never got mentioned.
Yeah, nowhere near there. Like Damon Severson.
Griffin Reinhart 4.
Deliberately never got mentioned.
Derek Pouliot number 8. A couple of others here.
I seriously
Slater Kirkuk at 10.
Yeah, like that's the thing. It was D heavy, and there were still just weird picks.
Legitimately, like we said, we could just about put 2 teams together that we were kind of happy with like thinking about, if he takes this guy, I can take this guy. And from 211 players, that's just abysmal.
And especially on the forward side, like I genuinely believe there's only 3 forwards in this draft that you would particularly want on your team. If you are making like a pick any player from the NHL sort of team, there's only 3 that would have a chance of making it. Which is crazy.
Cody Ceci at 15.
Cody Ceci.
15. Cody Ceci went before Vasilevsky.
Yeah.
I understand as well. It's all hindsight, and it's easy to look back on it now and laugh, isn't it? But
this is an exceptionally bad draft, though. Exceptionally. In what other draft are you going to have the top 3 players, like none of them turn into particular stars? Top 4 players.
In this draft, as good as the players we chose, I would say there are 2. Not counting goalies, they're all incredibly good and have been incredibly good in their time. Morgan Rielly, Philip Forsberg. I mean, who else would you maybe consider a superstar? I'm just going down as kind of...
I don't know. I think Morgan Rielly is only a superstar because he plays in Toronto.
Yeah, you could be right. Yeah, if Morgan Rielly played somewhere else, he'd be one of those guys that everyone's like, no one's talking about Morgan Rielly. Why is that? Look at his numbers; they're really good. Yeah, but because he plays in Toronto, he gets more.
If he's in Nashville, he's Roman Josi. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he kind of gets like he gets the love when people start doing deep dives and stuff.
I think Vasilevsky's the only superstar in this draft.
You're not taking Forsberg? I'd class Forsberg in there.
I don't think Forsberg's a superstar.
I'm saying purely from a hockey point. Like the market doesn't help. Like we said before about certain teams. But
he's a very good player, but he's not exactly Mark Stone, is he? No, I mean, like, he's not like
no, you're right.
Unknown gem who's like incredible. Like Forsberg's good, but I don't think he's that good.
Dude, you can't have. Okay, I'm generally not, but you can't have Matt Murray, a 2-time, a back-to-back Stanley Cup winning goalie, and not say he's not a superstar in this draft. You can't.
No, I absolutely can. Matt Murray is a superstar.
What?
You're fucking. Have you fallen off the wagon? Are you drinking again? Is that what this is?
Please, people, please. Surely I'm not wrong on this one. I can't be. A 2-time back, and it's not okay. He won both those cups. He wasn't just on the team; he won them.
Right.
He's the goalie.
Superstar. Who's a superstar? I say, we're thinking NHL. I say superstar. First player that comes to your mind.
Oh, I'd say Crosby.
Yeah. Okay. Crosby, McDavid, Ovechkin. Yeah.
All right.
Matt Murray.
There's no way.
Who's the other one out?
There's no way Vasilevsky. There's no way Vasilevsky belongs in this conversation either. If you're talking about that.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But I mean, if I had to pick anyone out,
get it. No, shut up. That's it. I win. Shut up. My show. Shut up. I'm going to edit this.
I have a really choppy thing of me saying Matt Murray's a really good goalie. Or just edit that out.
You say no, yeah. I chop it in, so you say, name a superstar in this league, and I go, Matt Murray, and you go, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Mate,
just
you can't have the winning goalie of back-to-back Stanley Cups only from a few... it wasn't like it was 2007.
Yeah, that's even worse.
I'm talking about superstars from this draft, not in the league, just from this draft. And if you're saying that Matt Murray's less of a goalie than Vasilevsky, you are off your fucking rocker.
Which player out of Matt Murray and Andrei Vasilevsky lost their starting job to Tristan Jarry this season? Which one of them did it?
Do we not just spend ages saying that goalies are voodoo and that just crazy shit happens?
I love this about our arguments because there's at least 4 or 5 different flip flop moments of proper vehement no, I'm absolutely right. Well, who knows anyway? Who knows anything about anything? All of this is fucking shit.
Mate, I get it, right? I get it. He's lost his job to Tristan Jarry this season. I understand, okay? But if you're just talking this draft and you're saying that a 2-time back-to-back... You're saying a back-to-back Stanley Cup winning goalie isn't a superstar. From this draft, you're insane.
Do you know what the other thing is? You keep saying, he won it. He's a 2-time Stanley Cup champion. They couldn't have done it without Matt Murray. In one of those championship seasons... The fucking Canadian media were trying to give the Conn Smythe to 2 fucking players because he didn't even keep his starting job in the playoffs.
It doesn't matter. He did it when it mattered.
He was fucking in the net when it mattered. That's all it was. That's all it fucking was.
You're saying that a goalie that capitulated on the best team in the league last year. When it mattered the most, when it actually matters, is a superstar.
Yeah.
Dude.
Who was the goalie for Brazil in 1970?
I don't know.
Doesn't fucking matter, does it? Pele is what matters. Crosby is what matters.
I agree Crosby matters. We're not talking about the Pittsburgh Penguins. We're talking about this draft.
And I'm saying
superstars in this draft.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Isn't he the most successful player? Isn't he the most successful player from this draft? Completely. Well, isn't he?
He's got the most Stanley Cups, but has Vasilevsky won a Vezina yet? Probably.
He must. Yeah, he won it last year.
There you go.
Ask Andrei Vasilevsky what he'd rather have. Ask him what he'd rather have. At this point, right now, would you rather have your career or Matt Murray's career? You know he's picking. He's fucking picking Matt Murray's career. Of course he is.
Yeah,
who wouldn't?
Because Matt Murray's had it fucking easy, and some fucking mugs in Cheshire are saying he's the best goalie that's ever played the game.
Matt Murray's had it easy.
Yeah, Matt Murray.
Oh yeah, don't forget that defensive fucking duo, fucking Ron Haynes and Derek Pouliot, fucking
defensive
in front
Jim.
of him. Wow,
defensive Jim.
So great, defensive Jim.
That's what they call me.
Fucking hell,
mate. You're off your rocker.
What do you need from your goalie sometimes in the cup? What do you need? You need him to stand on his head sometimes. You need him to make a save. Vasilevsky couldn't even do that in one game last year. Not even one game. Not even that. You know what? Not even a period. First period, first game. That was it. Because he fucking sat there in his hammock, in his goal, doing nothing. After that, no. He fucking shit his bricks.
Is it not?
Am I saying he's not a great goalie? Of course not. He's a fucking amazing goalie. And he's nicknamed the Big Cat. What's not to love? I love cats. Vasilevsky is an amazing goalie. But if you're saying that Matt Murray is not a superstar from this draft, you're out of your mind. That's like, it's not analytics gone crazy, but that's just, what are we even doing? If we're saying that a guy who won back-to-back Stanley Cups isn't a superstar from this draft, like, insanity. That's insanity.
All right.
What's the point?
Hold on. You remember that? Remember that? It's coming. I'm laying the smack down. Hang on. Oh, it's coming.
Go on.
I'm getting there. Hold on. Just gotta wait for my beautiful little internet to catch up. What was the quote? So you're saying a player who won back-to-back Stanley Cups isn't a superstar?
I know what you're going to do, all right?
Matt Cullen, NHL superstar. Nick
I know what
Bonino,
you're going to do.
NHL superstar. Ollie Matter, NHL superstar. Any more? Any more for any more?
I've already said goalies are different. Goalies are different. You haven't got a teammate backing you up if you shit the bed. You haven't got somebody behind you to pick up the puck if you misplace a pass or don't control any stick prop if you don't control the puck properly. When you're the goalie, that's it. It's just you. There's no one else. Players are different. Players and goalies are different. It's a different system. Everything's different. You know what this is, don't you? This is your anti-goalie bias coming out again. That's what this is.
This is it. Fuck the goalies. No one cares.
I'm gonna get the goalie union. I'm gonna get the fucking goalie union on you. Then you'll be in trouble.
Bring it on. What are they gonna do? Nothing. Not a damn thing.
Ah, god damn it!
What a beautiful way to do this.
That was fantastic. I gotta say,
That's good.
I fucking love it when we do these. I love it when we do these.
There's nothing that I love more than having a go at you. I can't believe this. Absolutely. I'm looking at this draft sheet right now. It's fucking mental.
Why is it mental?
It's just mental.
Like I said, you could have taken all the players that were kind of possible choices from this draft. You could have thrown them up in the air and just handed out half to me and half to you, and it still would have been, yeah, that team's pretty good. That's all right. That'll do.
Yeah. and
that's how bad this draft is.
Yeah, you're having a go at me for not taking Esselin down. You took fucking Ollie Matter over Esselin down.
What do we? Well, you just don't listen, do you?
We're going to be.
What do we say? I need guys who are good in the room. Well, listen, you're not paying attention. It's my whole shtick. This was great.
It was. Should we wrap this up before we just shout at each other until 2 a.m?
Yeah, fair point. There we go. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that little trip down memory lane that involved us arguing as usual. But, you know, we said we'd bring you some hockey content, and god damn it, there you go.
Does it count as a trip down memory lane when you're just remembering decidedly average NHL players that are still playing?
Yeah, well, we are walking down memory lane and going, I don't remember it being this bad.
Well,
oh, God.
Yeah.
Course. Memory lane's been hit by a tornado.
Hit by the Blitz.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. God damn it. All right, let's get out of here then. Thank you for listening, buddy. Oh, Will, any last words?
I daren't say any last words.
No, because we'll just start again. We'll talk to you later, folks. Take care.
Peace.